What's good, YouTube? It's your boy JusticeXFalls. We back at it again with another video, and today we're looking at the WWE 2K23 review. So this game is supposed to be like better than all of the latest editions that have been coming out lately. I personally think the best one I've played in recent years was 18 and 19. Those are really good. Obviously 20 was ass. 21 didn't exist. 22 was good to me. I still play 22. 23 is supposed to be the next level, you know, because 22 was the first one back after a shitty game, a shitty year. You know, now we supposed to be back on track. So all of the wrestling 2K YouTubers are hyping this one up. Let's see what IGN has to say about it. And then we're gonna check out some aggregate reviews. So without further ado, let's get to the video.
John is back where he belongs.
Even stronger is the perfect tagline for WWE 2K23.
Okay.
Last year's reinvention laid a solid foundation, and every aspect of it has been refined for the better this year. Combat is flexible without becoming burdensome, and the My Rise campaign mode leans on telling more focused stories without compromising its open-ended gameplay. My GM is bigger and more user-friendly, and even the 2K Showcase, which has maybe the most glaring inconsistencies of all the modes, subverts expectations in creative ways. The pickings are slim for full sim-style pro grappling alternatives, but WWE's flagship game has never—
Yeah, like, real quick, you know, like, if you're watching this, you're probably a wrestling fan. A lot of people sit there and say that John Cena buried a lot of people, and you might have a legitimate argument towards that, but you got to understand, he took a lot of losses, big losses. Like, just alone, you're what, 15-time champion? That means you lost the championship 15 times. You got pinned or lost the match 15 times. And then, especially with all the other titles, he's like a 3 or 4 time U.S. champ or something like that. I don't know if he ever won Intercontinental. I don't think so. I don't remember. But I think he's a Grand Slam champion. I'm not sure. But every belt he had, he lost. And even he put over a lot of people, you know? So I don't think it's fair to sit there and say that all he did was bury people.
Never been more deserving of its spot at the head of the wrestling game table.
Cena picks Orton out of the air. Attitude adjustment, Cena. What? Cover. It's over.
As far as how it looks and sounds, 2K23 has to be the best this series has had in years.
I love Rhea.
Though some characters have outdated looks and music, almost everyone at least looks good. Coverboy John Cena and the son of a plumber, Cody Rhodes, are standouts on the high end, which ironically makes some of the low-end models feel like that much more of a missed opportunity. New lighting effects and reflections give an overall boost that makes stages shine and title.
Look at that Paul Heyman render. That Paul Heyman render is crazy. No, wait a minute. Let's go back. Look at this Paul Heyman render. You can't tell me that don't look just like Paul Heyman with the facial expression. Like, these character models look great, but like the facial expression on the Advocate is crazy.
Lighting effects and reflections give an overall boost that makes stages shine and title belts sparkle.
The titles look good too.
Menus are clean and colorful, which is a step up from last year's bland layouts, and all without sacrificing legibility. Visually, 2K23 is a grand slam.
Okay, I like how you see the little fabrics on Alexa's bottoms here. I like that. I like that little detail, and then how the hair moves and stuff like that. And there's more. They've always been, every year they've been improving on the referee animations and also the crowd animations. There's like actual renders of people in the crowd, and they have like a good rotation of animations for them. Even though there's a lot of guys doing this, but there's a good mix of animations for
combat in the squared circle of 2K23 is much like it was in 2K22. Last year's big overhaul was widely considered a huge success, and the simplified grappling layouts and a combo-based striking system add some depth to the hundreds of wrestlers available this year.
I'm interested in the ratings a lot.
Stamina is a way bigger deal as matches go on. Without it, it's tougher to run faster than a crawl, and you become way easier to counter and beat down. Spamming offense relentlessly risks tiring you out early, and the only way to regain your energy is to hang back and idle for a few seconds. Knowing when to slow your roll and when to hit the gas can give matches between evenly skilled opponents a fun rhythm. The payback system has expanded, letting characters equip up to 2 big game-changing special abilities. The added flexibility means that even though there's still only 1 use per match, you have a secondary scenario in which you can turn the tables. Using your resiliency to instantly win a pin or submission minigame doesn't have to be the only trick up your sleeve anymore.
The poison miss.
Spending a portion of your special bar, gained either by dealing or receiving damage, can help you instantly recover from attacks or play possum for a surprise roll-up. The risk-reward relationship of the special bar makes you think as well. These defenses—
Aaron Buck and Aaron Abbott. What the hell's going on here? Is this like some European stuff I don't know about? Oh, I guess so.
Can be used to great effect to stop taking damage during vital moments. But with a full bar, you can unleash a signature move, which could do more to turn the tide in your favor.
Chair.
This is the kind of resource management usually only seen in traditional fighting games like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, but it fits 2K23 like a perfect pair of boots.
Eddie gets countered.
You can't see me. Who did the Undertaker just pin?
This year's 2K Showcase focuses on John Cena's biggest losses. Cena spent so much of his 20-plus year career winning that it's refreshing to see him run down the monumental L's he's taken from greats like Kurt Angle and Triple H. I enjoyed the winding trip down memory lane, though there were a few notable bumps in the road. There are some glaring omissions like JBL and The Miz, and Cena's reflections on these matches are oddly sterile and surface level, considering he is known for being philosophical when it comes to pro wrestling. His monologues between matches offer no real insight beyond largely juvenile "I went in there and tried my best" mantras, which is a bit—
That's kind of disappointing and at the same time surprising, but kind of not surprising because John is he's a company guy. Like, so he's one of those guys that tries to protect the business, even though that era is over because everything's on the internet. Everybody has an insider in the industry that knows something, you know. I'm talking about beyond dirt sheets. There's like people that really leak information, and it's like easy to find stuff. And you know, people have camera phones, so if you see something at a house show, they'll probably do something similar to it at a live show, shit like that. It's hard to hide. It's harder to protect the business, you know. There's still elements of wrestling that are protected, but I think John goes the extra mile to do that. So he's not going to give you as much insight as another wrestler might give you, because especially since he's still involved with the company, he might not be under contract with them. He might have like a loose contract or a handshake deal with them, so he's not going to give you all the secrets of and all the insider information behind stuff, which is a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie. It's been 20 years. You could tell what happened. You could give us more than bland, like I tried real hard. But I mean, I don't have the game, so maybe I might feel different than this reviewer. We'll see, because I'm definitely going to buy this game and play that mode.
Bit of a shame.
A chance to prove I belonged in the WWE universe. And I failed.
Showcase is structured similarly to past ones, but this time you get to play the gauntlet of matches as his opponents. This
I remember that
twist
match.
Keeps the action fresh from match to match, but it will mean you'll need to relearn character movesets every time, which could be a little jarring. Thankfully, the objectives you're given do a good job of laying out exactly what's being asked of you, down to the exact button combinations needed to execute a particular maneuver. At the same time, the interlacing of old WWE footage into gameplay doesn't feel as clever as it used to. Sometimes you'll need to hit a specific move, and the match will play out a whole sequence of moves that probably would have been more fun to do yourself than they are to watch. On more than one occasion, a simple attempt to attack or grapple started a clip that led directly into the end of a match, with no further input required. The overall package remains an earnest but rough attempt to do the impossible. It would seem that you can't truly recreate specific wrestling moments and capture the drama and magic in a playable way.
I think he was wearing Adidas right here. he tried some new Adidas boots, and I don't think they don't have a partnership with Adidas, so they didn't want to pay them. So, because that was probably just a one-shot thing. I know they have a couple wrestlers that wear Nike, so they might be a Nike sponsor. So you definitely have to block out direct competition, you know, because I see a lot of wrestlers that have Nike, have not only like Jordans and stuff, or like regular Nikes, like Dunks and stuff that they wrestle in. Like, I think they have like customized like boots that they wrestle in. I've seen it, some of the women and some of the men too.
The other major single-player mode, My Rise, is split into 2 separate stories. Of the 2, I preferred The Lock, which has you jump into the boots of a global sensation whose talents have finally elevated him to the WWE. It's an enjoyable tale about the conflict between attempting to be yourself versus trying to be what the machine of the WWE wants you to be.
We want The Lock to headline a live event for the first time.
The Legacy, a story about debuting in the shadow of your Hall of Fame aunt, is also a solid tale about living up to expectations and the various ways that old rivalries and bad decisions in and out of your control can make that challenging.
It was always a hoot and a half having you backstage when you were a kid.
Both stories give the mode some real focus. Where last year's My Rise often felt like I was just running around doing quests simply because they were there, this year the main thread wrangles you into very clear-cut chapters. Your main and side objectives are laid out clearly in the story progress menu, and all of the appropriate people to talk to in order to initiate these quests are all in one area. The story is also separated by acts, and the progress menu will show you all the distractions you could get into before moving on to the next one. The open-endedness of last year's My Rise still exists though. Between matches during the main storyline, you can interact with accessory characters and make choices that can determine how story arcs end, or what kind of side quests you end up on. I wish that the back and forth you have to do to start many of the side feuds were more than just text blocks on a fake social media platform, but the parts that are voice acted feel more consistent across the board than last year.
Oh, no, I didn't catch his last match. Some fans bought me a pint. Nice blokes.
I'm not sure any of this will make you a My Rise fan if you weren't already, but a strong story mode is a wrestling game staple, and I'm glad it finally feels worth the time again.
Oh, look at the knee strikes. Just unloading knees to the body.
For folks looking for more of a sandbox approach to superstardom, Universe is back, and with the exception of some slight tweaks in the story building tools, it's practically identical to 2K22's version. For Classic Mode fans, this means you can have a field day tweaking every single detail of your own version of the WWE, from the shows you produce, the stars and feuds between them, and even the belts they can win and defend. I preferred Superstar Mode during the relative time I spent with Universe, so I could put my created grappler through an endless career of rivalries and title shots.
Shaba Samedi. Okay, and he has like the what you call it, Faith, the Papa Shango kind of paint going on. Got some cool lettering on the tights. Okay, that's a nicely designed. Got the tape, the hand and tape wrap. I like that. Okay, that's a nice little design.
GM mode is my preferred management sim mode, and this year's version is even bigger and more robust than ever. Besides some quality of life changes and giving us more brands, managers, and power cards to choose from, now up to 4 players can try to out-promote each other across multiple season games.
Okay,
new surprises like the Shake-Up, big game-altering passive abilities that you can select after big shows, help spice up the gameplay regularly. But figuring out how to make popular, highly rated matches over long periods of time is still a steep learning curve.
Yeah, that mode is for like the real hardcore wrestling fans that like to book their own shows and stuff. That like the Chris Dangers and all of that. Those guys like that really dig into it. Like, if you haven't heard of him, check out Chris Danger. He's dope, man. He's actually trying to wrestle in real life now too. So shout out to him. Shout out to him.
Whether you want to experience a TV-inspired story of young wrestling talent rising to glory, take a guided tour of the most humbling moments in the career of one of the greatest to ever do it, or some other nerdy diversion, WWE 2K23 is worth pinning down. It's at least incrementally better in almost every way from last year's entry, in that combat feels more rewarding, flexible, and consequential. Where it overachieves, like in my GM, it starts to finally restore the feeling that we could be on the ramp watching a new golden age of pro wrestling games make its glorious entrance. For more, check out our reviews of Resident Evil 4 and Pizza Tower, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
Never give up. Dust yourself off and come back when you're ready. I'll be right here waiting.
All right, John Cena. I don't know if that's copyright, so we're gonna block that. But yeah, okay. So hey, I'm glad that well, as far as IGN is concerned, the showcase mode is worth it. You know, because I think last year was it NWO or something like that? I don't remember. Because I was playing My Rise. I was playing the whole time I've had 2K22. I was playing My Rise. Only disappointing part was around this part where he said the commentary from John Cena was like kind of bland, and he didn't really go into detail about like these matches where he took these L's and stuff like that. He could have really, it was a real missed opportunity by the WWE to, you know, really give us a exclusive experience, kind of like, you know, when you go on Peacock and you look at the shows and you look at the interviews. It was a missed opportunity for us to get like an exclusive look at how John Cena felt about these matches. It sounded like he said the way he explained it was like it was very like commercialized and not very specific. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? We'll see. It's crazy they blurring out all these faces because all these people don't work for the company anymore. I think that's Brian Hebner, or Earl Hebner Jr. or Brian Hebner, whatever his name. Like his son, I think that's who that is right there. And they blurred out some announcers too that probably work for other companies. It's kind of crazy how they have to do that. But yeah, definitely a game I'm going to be copping. I saw the deluxe edition was $110. I was like, God damn, like that's almost 2 games. Because I want to get Resident Evil and I want to get WWE, but like, and I want the deluxe of both. But that's like over $200. Like I got the money, but like, damn. Like there's other things I could be buying with that money. But such is life when you're a content creator. You gotta spend money. You gotta spend money to make money. We on the road to 1,000. You know, we got 520 of y'all dedicated subscribers, which I appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, that was WWE 2K23. Be on the lookout for some gameplay. But enough about me. Let me know what y'all think. Are y'all copping this game? Y'all skipping it? Let me know. So y'all already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. 1.